Because biopharmaceutical companies have
Honor everyone. Honor everyone that's joining. Honor to everyone that's in the chat. Honor to you all. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with everyone. All right. I say peace, love, and light to you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is DarkManX Tv. I am an Arawak American, what they call in colonial terms an Arawak. With that being said, I say welcome, peace, love, light to you all. Welcome, honors to you all. Young Cherokee Peasy, honor, brother, honor, honor to everyone that's watching, honor to you all. We know that they're dragging on my streams, that they're messing with my internet. That's fine. So I just felt like getting into it this morning. I still have another live coming up later today. The live that we were doing yesterday with Brother Curry Mayo. The information that I was trying to share that they kept trying to interrupt. I'm gonna continue off from right there with the live later on today, around possibly around the same time that I'm going to do. I just want to common sense. This is common sense. You got to understand universal language. Okay, you got to comprehend language, universal language, words, descriptive terms. What do these things mean? Psychology. What are people trying to play on you? And I said it already, and I'm going to say it again. And I don't care who feels away, right? You throw the stone, and if you holler and it hits you, then it's you. When this platform came out, none of the other platforms that I know of was speaking on island history and history about South America. This everything right here that I'm about to say is it's going to racism, discrimination of these other platforms, and how they kept a lot of secrets from you because it is the agenda of the corporation. It is the agenda of those who are aligned with the corporation to keep you asleep. Period. Get mad, get upset. I don't care. I'm going to address this here in its simplest form, and then I'm just going to ignore the hell out of all of y'all like I do Root. Period. And stick to the topics that I've been focused on. Not going to be belligerent. Not going to curse at you guys. None of that stuff. And this is done with love. Period. We are all still, yeah, you guys are grimy, real greasy. But at the end of the day, we're all Earth's brothers and sisters. So we're kin. We're Earth kin. Period. When my platform came out and I was addressing everything except for the history of South America and the islands, it was all good with almost all the other platforms. I don't think a Tontinus one liked me from day one because of the whole shit between me and Chief Kalinago. That's just a fact. I don't care how people want to feel. I'm going to call it for what it is. That's what it is, right? And why do you say that? I remember the time where I used to go in all day chats, support their chats. I'm just tired of the bullshit. Let's just get to it. I used to go on all day chats and support all day chats. When I was talking to Chief Holiday, I remember this time that I was in the chat and Chief Holiday for like an hour was telling the Tantrums one, add Darkman on the panel, add Darkman on the panel, and he ignored it like he didn't hear it. Then one or two people in the chat were saying the same thing, and he looked over it and went to the comments below the folks that saying add Darkman to the panel. Then when almost everybody in the chat was saying add Darkman to the panel, then he was like, oh yeah, right? You know, he used to throw a lot of pot shots, little sub jabs, jab, jab, because of the whole situation with Kalinago. Let's just get to it. Like I said, if it wasn't for BCFC, a lot of these Negroes in that community would have set me up lovely. Okay? And no matter what anyone feels about her or anything. I cannot take that away from her. I cannot take away the love that she showed me. I don't care of her sexuality. None of that matters to me. To me, to the what she showed me to be a genuine, respectful person and a person that actually cared just for the information and for the people to receive the information. Now, you hear me talk about this person that came into my chat, talk about, oh, I've been knew about the seal. I got that. That was a Tontinus one. He wasn't teaching y'all about that. Let's just get to it, right? You hear me tell y'all that a lot of y'all favorite platforms are going to start coming out about this, about being Moors. It's happening. I'm not going to name them, but y'all going to see it. They're already shown themselves, but they're going to ease into it. Is there anything wrong with it? No, there's nothing wrong with it. You be what you want to be. There's nothing wrong with that. But the hatred that you guys are spilling out there is disgusting. Seriously, you can't sit here and start using the whole colorism thing and then proclaim to be Moors and sit here and act like Moors wasn't having sex with a shitload of Caucasian females creating biracial children. So when you're going at Curry May and talking, oh, he don't even look like us. Shut up. You sound stupid. Especially that his genealogy actually shows that he has blood lineage to the Americas. Period. I've been through situations where they set me up to about, oh, we invite you to the platform. I'm like, all right, no problem. Just send me the link in the Google Hangout. Come to find out, it wasn't no platform thing. It was a Google back chat of niggas trying to tell me how to regulate my information and to run it by them first and all this stuff. I know a shakedown when it's won, right? So I've been through this stuff with these folks in this community. I done had folks try to hack my computer, had my brethren trace it back to the Lenape camp reservation. So I've spoke on this already before. No one was speaking on the islands. Phoenix breezed over the Haitian Constitution and the Jamaican Constitution. But when we came into more knowledge, we realized those aren't real constitutions. Those were corporate documents. And American Arawaks went down into 1681 and pulled up one of the oldest constitutions of Jamaica, which they call Jamaica or Zamaica. Okay? And we extensively went through it. Extensively. We didn't breeze over it. None of them was talking. Members from African Americans Ain't African talk a lot of shit about island people. Very discriminative. Some even came into my comment section, dropped the most bigotry stuff when I called it out. At first, I thought it was Chief Holiday. For those who've been watching the platform, y'all remember what I'm talking about. I thought it was Chief Holiday because the person typed like how Chief Holiday talked, right? But then the person came on Autonomous One's platform. At the time, they was calling themselves Mac something. That was a person's name, right? They came on Autonomous One's platform and said, no, it wasn't Chief Holiday. It was them. And Autonomous One entertained it. You have the other YouTube channel who go by the name of what was his name? Alphonse, that makes all the bigotry videos on West Indian people, right? Was supported again by A1's platform and the associates of A1. Come on, let's keep going. None of us on this side came out attacking y'all based on, oh, you're North Americans. None of that. Oh, you ain't us. None of that. We didn't do that. And for some reason, since we started introducing the West Indian Tribal Society, since Curry Mayer started dropping information on the Moors, y'all, a lot of y'all who claim that you weren't Moors are getting all offended, getting in your feelings. For what? What's the problem? I thought you weren't a Moor, right? Then some of y'all are saying, oh, well, I'm not a lodge Moor, but I'm a Moor. Now you're playing semantics. You're playing word games. And that psychology that they've taught in the Masonic order in these occult supposed secret societies. These are word spells. You got upset because I started teaching people how to break your word spells, to call you out on bullshit just by keeping it very simple. Don't even get complicated with them. Keep it very, very, very simple. They can't get around it. Every time I bring up the Moroccan Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1785, 1786, these treaties, they can't get around it. They can't, they can never address it. Why does it say this in the treaty right here? Why? Even the ones who are talking about, oh, I'm not a temple Moor, they can't get around it because it says it's their job to get you to give up your nationality to join the Moroccan Empire over in what is now considered to be Africa, to be subjects, citizens of them. That's colonization through paperwork to me. Simple. Period. None of these platforms came out talking trash about South America. They came out talking trash about island people. Then they started their little thing that they call the curry goat segment, something like that. Then when they wanted to really throw bigotry pot shots, they kept on, oh, Garvey and Garvey. And now it's every minute is Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. That's all they talking about. Were they talking about this 3 years ago? No, they weren't. What has changed? More platforms of island folks and folks from South America has come out, talking the history, showing up their lies. If these platforms never came out, this platform never came out, all of y'all in here would have been calling yourselves Moors. Moorish American, Moors. All I did was come out and speak my truth of my ancestry, my lineage, my bloodline. My great grandmother, my grandmother, my grandfather says we are Arawaks, which is proper pronunciation Ahuwak. Why Ahuwak? Because it goes back down into South America. This is where we came from. My grandfather's mother is from Honduras. Okay? Great grandmother, Panama. All right? So I am of the Mosquito people also. Well, who are they? They are part of the Ahuacan Empire. The reason being why they don't like that, because he said, oh, but you use the term aboriginal and those are Moorish terms. Moors created that. He's just saying dark skinned people created those freaking words. Of course, this entire planet was massively populated with dark skinned people. You see how that works? But now, all right, now I stop saying that. I say now Arawak, Ahuacan. What are you going to say? You're going to tell me that the folks that you were shitting on South America now, oh no, those are Moors too. Those are Moors. Oh, those are Moors. Because what happened to the Moors of Spain that invaded South America? So if the Moors of Spain invaded the Moors of South America, and the Moors of the Middle East invaded the Moors of Spain, well, goddamn, everybody in the world are Moors. Pay attention. Pay attention. Descriptive terms, people. Descriptive. Like we can do this. I mean, but be real. For those who've been following the platforms, all the platforms, for those of y'all who's been following all of our platforms for years, did they used to talk about island people? And the only reason why they started befriending some island folks is just to build that association because they have an agenda. It's psychology. The best way to know your enemy's movements, because they consider us their enemies, is to build a fictitious friendship with them. Come on my panel, come. That's why I never invite none of these folks no more on my panels. It will never happen because I know what it is. and you see me invite those who are considered to be true people on my panel. This is why I asked Curry Mayo to come on the panel. Okay? This is why we deal with Curry Mayo. It doesn't matter what his skin complexion. I always told people this. It doesn't matter what a person's skin complexion look like, but stay true to our ancestral history. Period. Me, what kind of woman do I prefer? I prefer a chocolate sister, a cocoa sister. Right? That's my preference. Can't tell no other man about what preference they supposed to. You know what I mean? That's it. But every time you pull up the oldest pictures of the Moors that they're speaking of, they always have Caucasian females with them. So to come back and shit on this man because he don't even look like us, you sound stupid. Because if you claim that you're a Moor, right? At first, no, you wasn't even saying I'm a Negro. Negro, we're Negroes. Now you have the Negroes of Spain. You have the Negroes of the Americas. You have whom they call your African Negroes. Now you're learning that even the term African is still a descriptive term that they use for dark-skinned people everywhere. This is why I say start throwing out those terms and start addressing folks by their tribal identities. Everything will start becoming more and more clearer. Period. When you hear root words about we're Moors, ha 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 ha, and the Moors and see and the Moors and over here. Okay, we know they flipped the map on us. But you still have not proven and shown anything that everyone in the entire world, because you talk about, those are the Muslim Moors and these are Hebrew Moors. What? That just sounds like a set of people that realize, oh shit, I could get rich through religion. Let me create an association like they still do today, like how the same person, the same Moor that taught Marcus Garvey, right? And Garvey created the UNIA. You think he wasn't getting PC out of that slave money that Garvey was pulling in? Huh? Hmm? You think the Moore Science Temple wasn't getting PC of that money? Hmm? People figured out the science to getting rich quick. Create a religion, suppress the original spirituality, which goes back to voodoo, the laws of nature, the spiritual aspects of nature, and create a man-made religion. Use the psychology of that to capture the minds of the people, indoctrinate them. And when you capture the minds of the people, you control the pockets, the very soul, the very soul of who they are. Like, it's crazy. And once you have their minds, their pockets is yours. Hence, you see churches that are valued $100 million today, and then still tell you, come on, and they still will come in and tell you, hey, all we need is to raise $3 million, and $3 million could end world hunger in this hunger for all times in this country right here. But your church is valued at $100 million. You're flying in a $21 million jet. You live in a $20 million mansion. What's wrong with that? Hmm? But the religious ain't gonna like me talking about this form of religion like this. Notice I said this form. This form is a scam. Period. So since we're going to tackle this subject, I'll just go straight to the head of the snake of the top platform that they depend on. That's it. And let's start chopping all the way from that head, come on down to the freaking tail. That's it. The hypocrisy has to stop. The foolishness that you Negroes is doing has to stop. No one has any issue of you wanting to be a Moor. Go ahead, be a Moor till you turn black and blue and purple all over. Who cares? Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Y'all wanted to keep that as a secret. Why? Why did y'all want to keep it as a secret? I'm not saying he was keeping it as a secret. He pretty much really did tell y'all though. In so many ways, y'all was just blinded to that shit. But there's his right hand and his left hand, whom are a part of the Shriners in the Masonic Order, and they throw up them signs all the time in front of y'all. Y'all just don't catch it. It's sad. But I'm asking y'all, be real. The years that y'all been watching all the platforms, did they used to talk about anything of South America and the West Indies like how they're doing it now today? And when they was talking about the West Indies, it was, oh, they not us, they're not us, and so on and so. And all we did was just stuck to the information, right? All we did was just stuck to the information, and I just stuck with my ancestry. That's it. Because when we say Arawak and Ahuwa Khan, Ahuwak, it goes back to nothing dealing with no Moors. So they have a lot of explaining to do. This is why they stick to North America, because this is where majority of their base was. For the past 20, 30 years, they just started branching off into the different portions of the Americas, setting up bases. This is what they've been doing. So it starts off, if you want to conquer people, you have to set up splinter cells. It's military tactics. You set up a cell here of a group of 5 people, probably 6. You don't want to seem overwhelming in another man's territory. You start casual conversations. People's in the South, people's in the islands, sometimes they're very open and accommodating. Okay? And peoples go down there into these places and take advantage of that. Learn certain things from them, come back here to the north and mislead you on the information, coming back calling themselves chiefs and all this bullshit. All right? It's a money thing. It's a money scam. It's a money grab. When you join the corporate Moorish order, that minor account, that social security account, your birth certificate account, they get access to it. But you don't. Okay? Not only do they get access to it, you done gave access now to it openly to Morocco and to the folks now who control Morocco, France, Canada, the United States Incorporated. It's all about public and private stocks, bonds, trades, the stock market. This is what it's about. Cashing in those bonds to go get their golds and their silvers. Okay? But when you are digging through your gene, this is why we tell everyone, stick to your own genealogy and tell me how much ancestors you found on documents. Because remember, if we're all Moors, the Moors were very intelligent, intellectual people also that could read and write. So you're gonna tell me these very intelligent, intellectual people, the input that they were Moors on their documentations that is now in the Registrar's General's office, in the halls of records, hmm, the Ministry of Records, or in these places. Hmm? The Chief Justice also has also have your records. So you've been telling me that a lot of you folks that's been doing your genealogy that has went back even for 4, 5, 6, 8 generations, still haven't seen nothing about Moors on your stuff, but we're all still bugging. Hmm? Really? Why are they going so hard? Why are they so offended by someone telling their own ancestry? Because it contradicts, it counteracts everything that they've been saying, the falsehood, the fallacies. You've tricked hundreds of thousands of people out of their nationality and locked them into an enslavement system. But that same treaty that I was talking about, if you read it carefully, it gives you the remedy and the way out. And you can you can always rescind any contract anyway. So if you want to rescind a contract from even the Science Temple or what they claim to be Moors, you send your shit, you send your documents also to the Moroccan crown. You rescind your contracts. Period. Like I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it. Right? And they don't come directly. What they do is they send the little smaller channels. That's what they do. The little smaller channels they send. They send root words to harass and hound me for years. To the point where if you even type in the name of my channel, his shit comes up. Isn't that crazy? It doesn't do that for many other people platforms because these are agents. And they linked his shit with my shit. It's called siphoning off subscribers. Okay? This is not a coincidence. When we started touching on certain information, certain ones started rooting their heads up. Certain folks started language and whole attitude started changing. These people will get people killed. These people will see you and set you up to get you killed. This is just to be honest. Over a descriptive term. That's all it is. Yo, they could come and show you 10,000 pages of documents. I still take it right back to the basics with them. It's still a descriptive term. They can't get past that. They have to prove that my ancestors and my genealogy called themselves Moors, and they can't do it. They have to prove that your ancestors and your genealogy call themselves Moors, as in part of the Moroccan Empire. They can't do it. So their feelings is hurt. I presume their handlers are coming at them now like, yo, why you still didn't get this nipped in the bud yet? What's going on? Hmm? Hurt feelings. Let me show you guys something. Give me a second. Let me get rid of this thing off my screen real quick. Oh, and you see this image right here? You see this image? This is a Trinidadian Indian. Trinidadian Arawaks. Yeah. one of the island folks that they were shitting on. Oh, they ain't us, and so and so. You see this? You see his garments? You see his headdress? Do y'all see that? Hmm? They can't get past that. I do everything strategic within time. I waited till this year to start releasing these pictures. And just to hear them start trying to change up their talk now. Because now when you're saying, oh, they're not us, and people out there seeing, but this is a Trinidadian Indian. So why you keep saying that they're not us? Well, look at how he's dressed. And look, see the star that he has? This is the 6-point star. You see this? Pay attention. Why are they so offended when we show images like this? Hmm? If it was up to them, they'll have you looking at the folks on the reservations alone that only dress like this. These island Indians were the ones that was boxed out off of the mainland by the very same people on these platforms who are acting the way how they're acting. Okay? This is the ugly truth of history. And when the mainland Indians were being taken to the islands to be sold as slaves, it was these very same island people that came down from the mountains and freed you. So when you and your cohorts was shitting on Carib or West Indian people, as y'all call it, so when the American Arawaks said put some respect in our name, because if it was up to them, they'll make you think it was only Haiti that was freeing people. But the Haitian Revolution really kicked off from the the um the interaction from Jamaica. That's how it got kicked off. But you see, we just don't say certain things because we let them hang themselves because they think they know and they don't know shit. Corrupt people will always draw at straws and they're corrupt. Period. But what's going on now today, we're all targets for what's about to happen. And you're still here pushing a divide. You're an asshole. And I say that with love. Your platform has influence over many people out there, over many other platforms, but young brothers and sisters that look up to your platform. And you're still pushing a divide on folks that help build your platform. What you gonna say? Well, Dane Calloway helped us. Dane Calloway also charged Ty Data and them to go on their platform. They paid him. Period. When I had my bigger platform, I would have never charged any of y'all to come on y'all platforms. Never. He charged y'all. And the documentations and the paperwork that to the links that he was selling on his website to the documentations and paperwork, those are HEMOC SHELOPs paperwork. That's why it had more science sample NWIPI on the documentations, on the letterheads. So when HEMOC said, when they left me, they stole my paperwork, this is what it is. Let's put all the shit out there. If that's what y'all doing. Your hands ain't clean. And instead of you clean up your ways, you're still going on with your dirty ways. Still. These people plan on pushing this whole corona shit till 2050 because the birth rate of whom you're calling the American Negro and the African Negro has skyrocketed. We have more younger generation. This is why they shoot them down dead in the streets like this also than the other ethnic groups. They have more older generation. Now that's sad. Why is it that they have more older generation? Because our older generations are behind bars. And we the ones out here that could properly help guide the younger ones, you're carrying on with ignorance in front of them, teaching them hatred. That's crazy to me. Anyway, let's cut this. Let me get rid of this image. Let's go into the screen share. We're going to keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. Real simple. All right? Real simple. Give me a second here, people. Simple. What they're doing is eugenics. And when I'm trying to tell you guys that eugenics was not started by Caucasian folks. Caucasian folks just worked on it to try to perfect it some more. It was started by other Negroes to wipe out populations of other Negroes to dominate their lands, to take over their inheritance, right? So the word more is descriptive. It just means dark skinned folks, okay? and those of the bloodline of dark-skinned folks. Okay? So sometimes when you see some of these faces here that look like this, you see the dark-skinned face behind there. Sometimes this is the daddy, and these are the children. That's why when I pulled up the history of the Saudi Arabian Empire, I showed y'all that about 5 generations back, it gets dark like this. And then he married a pale-faced woman, and they had a child, and that child was with another pale-faced woman, and thus they look pale-faced now today. Now, pay attention. The true history of the Saudi Arabian royal family is of a Jewish faith, so they say, right? So then that means the original Jews were Negroes as well, meaning dark-skinned people. Now the word "more," let's go into the etymology again. I can't believe I really have to do this. It's very simple, people. It's very simple. Like, it's not rocket science. It's a description word, right? Simple description word. Give me a second here. My phone is about to go dead. I wanna keep track of what's happening right here. So let me pull it up on my thing. All right, here we go. It's real simple. Now watch. It's a descriptive word. Now I went over this the other day. I'm going to do it again because now I'm going to add the pictures. Let's go down to here. North African Berber, one of the race dwelling in Barbary. Late 14th century, from medieval Latin Morus, from Latin Moros, inhabitants of Mauritania. From Greek Moros, perhaps a native name, or else cognate with Moros, black. So Moor also means black. Also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain. So you had the Moors of Spain that were conquered by the Arab Moors, who were dark-skinned people, right? Being a dark people in relation to Europeans. Why? Because original Europeans were also dark-skinned people. Now, you see, it's a descriptive term. Your Moors of Spain. Type in the Moors of Spain, it's gonna link back to the Arab Moors also as well. Why? Because they were conquered. They conquered the Moors of Spain. These these dark-skinned Negroes conquered these dark-skinned Negroes. These black folks, that's how people want to say it, conquered these black folks. Okay? Now here goes your Arab Moors. You see? The Arab Moors. You see? The Arab Moors. See? It just means dark skin. That's it. And what these folks did, they turned it into an organization, an occult society, a supposed secret society, because they started certain fractions of them started contracting with what was supposed to be considered the enemy and created corporate contracts with them to keep the massives as slaves. Why? Because the Arab Moor, they were slave traders. Okay, they went throughout what is now considered to be Africa and took the people as slaves and sold them. They sold them back down into Europe in these places. This is your slave trade. All right. So this is what I'm telling people: racism is an illusion. Okay. Just keep it simple. Chinese Moors, the Asian Moors. See, it's just dark skinned people. It's just dark skinned people. And these are their children, these pale faces. Okay? India. These are the India images also. It's one landmass. Moors of Germany. Y'all are quite familiar with this image right here. Dark skin again. Dark skin again. Tell me where I'm talking bullshit here. You just keep it simple with them. Don't overly exaggerate. Just simple. Very simple with them. Okay? This is it. It just means dark skinned people all over the world. Like African means dark skinned people all over the world. Moor means dark skinned people all over the world. Black means dark skinned people all over the world. They're descriptive terms. Tartar, dark skinned people all over the world. They used to call the Negro Chinese Tartars, Tartarians. And then when those folks started traveling to other parts of the world, they saw dark skin complexion because that was their language. So they say Tartar, Tartarian. That's it. All right. Now, especially in the VAR system, she said they fought over the Moor because they had poor agriculture and were always in need of food. Now, the Moor over here, now because root words like to say, well, and then the Moor and the Moor. Well, let's go. Well, the Moor over here, which means land, was very plush, nutritional, had an abundance of food, natural resources than the Moor over in what they now call Africa. So it's asinine for you pro-blacks to think that Africa fed the world when the Americas and most of the food, most of the hundred out of the, I think it's 181 food sources in Africa now, or yeah, 100 and I think 79 came from the Americas. Wake up. So this is why even before the 1492, leading up to colonization of that time, our ancestors and these Moors, the Arab Moors, the Moors of Spain, the Asian Moors, always did trade and bartering with each other. We did business. So when you hear certain terms here and certain terms over there, it's a universal language because we had to learn each other's language of business because we did business with each other. It is that simple. Cut out all the semantics, cut out all the wordplay, just get straight to the core, the heart of it. That's it. You get in your feelings for what? What is it to get in your feelings for? You want to be a Moor? Negro, be a Moor. But what more are you? Right? What more are you? Are you a Moroccan Moor? Are you the Moors that signed these documents, these contracts with the U.S. corporation? Because now you said you have your seal. You said you've been had it. That means you got your documentations and your paperwork done. So what more are you? What say you? What more are you? Hmm? Are you the contracted Moor with the corporation? What more are you? Or are you the Moors, the tribes whom were here that sold out majority of the other tribes and got them exiled, got them slaughtered, hmm, to get refuge on a reservation? Are you that Moor that contracted still with the corporation? What more are you? Are you the Moor fish? Because they got a fish named Moor that's in the water. Are you that? Are you the marsh of land? Are you that? What say you, Moor? We could play this game. What say you? It's that simple, people. The Palestinian Moors. What is this? What is this? What is this? Well, you see, any name you type in with the word Moor, you're going to see dark-skinned people. It just means dark-skinned people. It's a universal word. Stop letting these folks try to trick you with all the fancy this and fancy that. This is a 501c3 organization. This is an occultic society. This are those who are contracted with the corporation. This. Now, when they say they're not Temple Moors, but they get upset when you talk about this man right here. But if you're not a Temple Moor, you shouldn't care. Or if you go against the teachings of Ataj Bey and his little puppet Sabir, they get very mad. They get very upset. Right? Now, the Moors, the Arab Moors, they're Muslims. Okay? They invented that Islamic religion. They're the inventors of that. It's younger than the Hebrew religion. It's younger than Catholicism. The true Negro. The true Negro. The Berber Moors. The Berbers. Moors. Look. Pay attention. That's a brown skinned person on the ground that he beheaded. Pay attention. So this is why I always say they're no different than the Umar shoemakers that keep trying to get you to go over back to Africa. They're just not telling you to physically go over there, but on paper they're putting you over there. That's paper genocide. You want to commit paper genocide, you do that. That's your free will. We don't. Who cares? But stop attacking folks that's not attacking you because they pushing information that you don't like. Are you crazy? Right? So when they're saying the Hebrew Moors, they're just saying dark skinned people. The Christian Moors, they're just saying dark skinned people. That's it. If y'all hear the noise in the background, they're doing some work. So no matter what I do, no matter where I go, you're gonna hear it. But this is it. Is the artwork beautiful? The artwork is very beautiful. Very beautiful. It's kind of mystical in certain ways. But break free from the psychological hold that they have on your minds, people. Seriously. It's going to be the very end of you. This is what you call word spells. It's literally casting spells on you. No one could speak for your ancestry. Nobody. Only you could speak for your ancestry, and you have to do your genealogy yourself. You got to do your genealogy and your family history. Otherwise, you sit here and you let these folks on other platforms classify all of y'all underneath one banner, one umbrella, as if you said, yes, that is it. That's who I am. And then when you go do your genealogy, none of what they said is in any of your ancestors' documentations. God damn it. Then what is going on here? Hmm? They're saying F the pale man, but they're Moors. And the Moor sign symbol has pale man in it. Because black also means pale. And if Moor means black and black means pale, right? Yo, I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. That's not it. Excuse me. There's no making up. I'm making up this stuff. Can't make this stuff up. Let me. I'm looking for something. That's the wrong thing. Give me a second, y'all. I had some links. Some links that I wanted to pull up. I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet and very simple. Okay, very simple. So when you hear them identifying an entire tribe, well, this tribe is their ancestors are Moors. It's just dark-skinned people. Or they're saying that the African invaders, right, or the invaders of Spain that came over here conquered that side of their ancestry and intermixed into them. Pretty much. Give me a sec. I'm going into my little goodie bag here. So I'm pulling up some stuff. And let me close out some stuff from the other screen. Close out these screens. Close that out. All right. Okay. Let me pull up the other screen. Give me a second. All right. So just want to briefly go through this website here, right? And folks can just do their research on their own when you have time to do that research. All right, let me hit the screen share for this. Give me a sec. Yes. Yeah. 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 Hold on. Okay. This is what Billy Gamble Afrocentric Sorology Anthropology. Yeah, this is WordPress. But this is just a brief little rundown. The Moors. 355 to 1492 AD, the mighty Moorish Empire of North Africa, South West Asia, Iberian Peninsula, and the Americas. Just dark skinned people. Now, when you also hear empire, that means someone went through and conquered tribes and put them all under one banner, right? But each tribe still maintained their own tribal name. Okay. Islam and Europe timeline. This is a Muslim religion. This is being a more is means that you're Muslim. Period. Because Islam was founded by the Arabs of whom they originally were calling Moors. Then they started talking about the Moors of Spain, and then everybody is a Moor. It's like Oprah giving out a car. You get a car. You get a car. You're a Moor. You're a Moor. You're a Moor. She's a Moor. The unborn baby is a Moor. God damn it, the dog is dark. He's a Moor. Uh, Anna, especially in the bars, Anna, Jazzy's a fox, Anna. Brief history: 355. After removing a Roman temple from the site, possibly a temple Aphrodite built by Hadrian, Constantine the First has the Church of the Holy Sepulchre constructed in Jerusalem. built around the excavated hill of the crucifixion. Legend has it that Constantine's mother, Helena, discovered the true cross here. These are Muslims. 570, Prophet Muhammad, born in Mecca, which is Southwest Asia, erroneously called the Middle East. Did y'all catch that? Y'all catch that? 570, Prophet Muhammad saw, born in Mecca, Southwest Asia, erroneously called the Middle East. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm going to put the link in the chat for y'all to go do y'all research. 590 to 604, Pope Gregory the Great. 540 to 604, begins his liturgical liturgical reforms and changes in church administration. Muhammad became the manager of the business of Lady Hadia. Muhammad married Hadrat Hadia. Muhammad had a religious experience on Mount Hara that changed his life, which became the early beginnings of Islam. Muhammad, the Negro, created Islam. Now, these more say, we're not Muslims, we're Muslims. But Muhammad created Islam. Muhammad is what you also consider to be a Moor, because he's dark skinned. Descriptive term. Yeah. Persians captured Damascus, 613, and Antioch, 614. Persians sacked Jerusalem, damaging the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in the process. So who do you think they were fighting? Who do you think these dark-skinned folks were fighting? You think they were fighting Caucasians? No, they was fighting other dark-skinned empires. And that's what was going on. See, we have to put everything back in its proper context because these terms are descriptive terms. Now you put these timelines together and you see that it was dark-skinned folks fighting dark-skinned folks for domination, conquering other dark-skinned folks on a worldly level. Mm, 615. Muhammad invented the Hashemites to adopt Islam. Invited the Hashemites to adopt Islam. 615. Persecution of Muslims by the Quraysh, the Quraysh in Mecca intensified, and a small group of Muslims left Mecca to seek asylum in ancient Abyssinia, Ethiopia. They were sheltered and protected by the Nagus or Nagast of Abyssinia, Ethiopia. That's king. You can't make this stuff up. Right? I'll give y'all a link to this. I'm not going through the whole thing. I just want to make just quick points. That's it. You can't get around this shit. You can't get around it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a link to the website. It's definitely tribal war, and they're bringing that tribal war here, and that's why I keep saying to y'all, tribalism is going to be the downfall of many, because when you're saying, "Well, this is our piece right here," well, if we're all Americans, oh nah, you're West Indian, you ain't no American, you ain't no American, but we want some of that sea moss though, that Irish moss though. Oh, but y'all foods come from Africa. Well, Africans don't be drinking our shit. What are you talking about? Colorism. The next person that's about to get the business is Soul Flow TV, sitting there on this platform talking about um the Arawaks are mixed with the Africans because he said his grandmother's an African. You better stop the dumb shit, boy. Trying to make it seem like the islands are majority Africans. All that dumb stuff is about to stop and trying to talk about the island is owned by the queen. No, it's not. They're gonna tell me that I think I'm woke. And he's sitting there trying to address the emblem of the archangel stepping on the Negro. Long story, I'm just gonna say it. Look, the God that you've always been praying to in that Bible, in those books, they flipped the script on you. That's why in the Bible, God murdered more people than whom you call the devil. And the peoples that he slaughtered were Negro peoples. Thus, his archangels were sent to slaughter Negroes. So don't think that the governor general of the Jamaica Corporation didn't know that shit when he was wearing the emblem. Garvey was wearing the same emblem. That shit is over 1,000 years old. But he told it backwards because he don't know what the hell he's talking about. This is psychology. This is why they wanted you to take on their religion because you was praying to the god of your oppressors. This is why they took away your spirituality from you, from voodoo and all of that. That's why the archangel has his foot, god damn it, on the Negro. Or they saying his knee. And then they started putting it to George Floyd. What? What? Are you crazy? I'm just watching them, right? Because like the other day, I'd reached out to Soulflow and I said, "Yo, here's the archive, the file of the entire coronavirus. You know, let the people read through it, see that what they're talking about this COVID-19 for 2020 is not real." He asked me if he's aware if I ever heard of Shaka. So I said, "Who? Demas?" He never answered back. So an agenda pusher. Anything that looked like well, I don't want it to interfere with my channel, so I'm just going to keep pushing half-assed and wrong information to the people because that's what is being called for. That's what he's doing. Period. No different from these ones here pushing psychological brainwashing information. Like, do you know how if people just stay to the truth and the information, but you see when people are afraid, they'll rather go with the lie, push the lie, and force themselves to believe the lie. Right? Anyway, let's move on to the next link that I have. Let me get into the next link. This was a website that I came across. Psychology, people. Psychology. Let me share the screen share to the website. Give me a second. Close out this one here. Let's go back into this here. Give me a sec. Go back to the screen share. Show y'all. It's all psychological, family. That's all it is. It's just psychological. Now, this is a change.org, Aboriginal Indigenous Moorish American. People of North America, Aboriginal Indigenous Moorish Americans unite with international support to enforce the Republic. Now, they show these images because it's to play on your psyche. Did Eric Garner come out and tell you he was a Moor? Did Eric Gardner tell you that? He's dead. He can't talk now. Unless you're going to contact him in the spirit realm. Then you're going to have folks say, yeah, we contacted Eric Gardner in the spirit realm. No, you didn't. Stop it. No, you did not. You definitely did not. Did these people whom were being targeted in the crowd come and tell you that they were Moors? Now, if they were Moors, where were the Moors with the fezzes in the crowd? Where were the Moors on this day to stop this? Where were they? Where were the Moors in the protests that's been going on this whole time? Where were they? Where were they? They're contracted with these folks. They can't get involved in this shit. They can't get involved in it. You better not have been talking about Shaka Atmos, because I'll tear into his shit. This is where you see. This is the thing with these folks, these pan fry people pushing this app. And then when he's saying the mix with the Arawaks, he's trying to make it seem, yo, like we aren't the original Arawakan people, right? Like, oh, he's going back to the old African slave trade bullshit. I know that's what he's trying to push, and he's wrong. He's totally wrong. And I could tell he didn't go nowhere into the archival records to look into the history. He's just talking that foo shit. So I'm gonna one of these days give him this education straight out of love, right? But none of these people here said that they were Moors. It's psychological people. Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish Americans unite unite with international support to enforce the Republic Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, and colonialism in North America. Well, they wanted to end colonialism in North America. It's millions of them. They have millions a part of their organization. They could have been banded together and created their own military, put their resources together, so on and so, and been set out if they really wanted to, sectioned off portions of North America and set up a military front. Because we know in any society, in any nation, you need a military might. Why haven't they done that? Stop! Like this is just foo bullshit talk. It's like when them Negroes from the Black Panther Party claimed that they went down to the KKK fucking headquarters the other day and they lined themselves out as sitting ducks in the middle of the fucking street. Period. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening here. All of this is to sidetrack you from keep digging into your ancestry. Okay? If black people want to go and walk around in groups of hundreds with guns, let them go do that. If these Moors want to be Moors, let them be Moors. But I am a Huacan. Why is that important? Because the Huacan goes back to the Amarucan. See, I skip the middle shit and go straight back to the source. I'm an Arawak. An Arawak is an Ahuak, Ahuacan people. The Amarucan. See, they here are claiming Amarucan, but they don't like South America. They shit on South America. They're claiming Amarucan, but they're shitting on island people, and we are the Amarucan. You said you're Moors. Amarucans ain't the Moors. Amarucans aren't Moors. So you can't be that. Let me go into the next link. Oh, I already have this open. Close that back up. I already have it open. Here we go. Going to this is the lexicon. It's the Oxford lexicon. Right? That's what we're gonna do. Let me hit the screen share. Give me a second, y'all. Where are you? Okay, I found it. Got the screen share. This is the word A-Bey, or they'll say A-Bey, right? To put in A-Bey pronunciation, A-Bey, right? To put in, abeyance, suspend, to put aside. Mid 19th century from A-Bey, compare earlier abeyant. All right, let's go into, where's the other thing? Let's close that out. I have it. I have it. I have it. I just gotta pull it in. Pull it up. Where is it? Where is it? All right. Chronics. Got it. Yes. This is Quranic names, right? Authentic baby names, authentic Islamic baby names. Let's go. Hold on. I'm gonna screen share it, y'all. Let's bring some humor to this. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes. Meaning high status, exalted, sublime, and superb. Abe, a Quranic name for boys. In some terms, also it means brother, right? Abe means brother. Okay. Abe, a variant of Abi, and has the exact same meaning and pronunciation. You can use either Abi, right? So it's not even Abe, it's Abi, or Abi. Both are correct and acceptable. If you like this variant more and you'd like to pronounce it the way it is spelled, this is perfectly acceptable. For more details, see the main entry at Abi. We're going to get to that. Abi, full meaning of Abi. Abi is an indirect Quranic name for boys that means one with much refrain, i.e., someone with much self respect who refrains from doing based and purposeless actions. There is a similar word in Arabic that means my father. Yep. And in English, it can be spelled as Abi as well. The two are distinguished by emphasis, Abe. The name has its emphasis on the second syllable, as in Abe, while Abi, my father, has the emphasis on the first syllable. Abi is derived from the Abba root, which is used in many places in the Quran. Abba means wool, garment, also. See? Descriptive terms. Descriptive terms. Okay? Yo, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this stuff up. I'm telling y'all, man. It's this simple, people. It's just that simple. Like, just stick to your bloodline, stick to your genealogy. Okay? Just stick to it. See what comes up. All right? That's it. If there's the only Moors is the Moor Science Temple. Okay? When you're hearing the term Moors, that's the only organization. There's no Moorish nation. Because if you're saying the Moorish nation, you're saying the land of the blacks, the nation of the blacks. That's what you're saying, right? And if you're saying it's the nation of the blacks, right, then you're saying dark skinned people, right? Pretty much. Because Moor means black also. It means also land. So land of the dark skinned folks, which is the entire earth. Well, this portion of earth. Because there's lands that you guys have not yet seen. Psychology people, that's all they're using on you. Wordplay. It's wordplay. These are spellcasters. We call them root workers back home. That's what we call them. They cast spells. You just have to break out of it. Okay? Like, this is crazy. So I stick to Huacan. They can't get around that. They can't get around these things. They can't get around them. They'll try to feed you bullshit, but they can't get around it. Because now you're gonna tell me what the Moors were the original Ahuacan people. What? They better stop that shit. Stop it. Stop it. Like all of this for what? All these attacks for what? Hmm? None of y'all was to talk about island culture. None of y'all was to talk about South America. As soon as we start dropping information that you don't agree with, now it's this massive attack out of nowhere. All these platforms out of nowhere, platforms that no one even knew existed, coming out of the blue, out of nowhere. That's agent shit. That is censorship. They're censoring the information. That is what they're trying to do. What makes you any different from the pale faces who runs these mega corporations that's censoring the information when you're doing the same thing? And this is why I tell people, if you really wanted to fight for this freedom on a different level, on that physical level, these are the folks that you are going to have to be going at, because they're censoring you. They don't like your stuff, they're flagging your shit and reporting it to YouTube to get your stuff taken down, to get you to be blacklisted by YouTube. This is how they operate. That's dirty. This is what they do. All because they don't like your information and you won't let them come on your panel. You got your own panel. What you care? Why do you want to come here? You got your own shit. Like, this shit is crazy. But that's what I'm saying, though, especially in Navarre. Like, Moors in what aspects? Because, remember, the Moors are also Shriners. So if Obama is a Shriner, you know, he has relations with them, right? So it depends. It depends on an aspect of how the word is being used. Okay. So let's stop falling for the wordplay of these folks, man. They're just using wordplay on you. That's it. They're not using nothing else but wordplay on you. That's all. So I implore you, I ask you to wake up, do your research. Don't just take our word for anything. Don't take nobody's word for nothing. Go out and do your independent research, because at the end of the day, it's it's something that you must do for you, for your history, for your lineage, for your bloodline. Let's do it. Okay? No one can take away from you once you do your research on your own history, your own your kin, your family lineage. Telling y'all, man, like, we're in beautiful times because everyone who was pretending this whole time is showing themselves. All right, and you still have more to come who have been showing themselves. Give me a second, y'all. I got brother Alex calling me right now. Give me 1 second. It has to be important. All right, y'all. So we have Brother Alex from the Yin Kun Kun, um, one of the co-founders of the West Indian Tribal Society for the Indians of the Western Hemisphere, which is the American Hemisphere. Alex, let me ask you a question. Yeah,
Yes,
did
sir.
any of your ancestors identify as Moors?
What? No, I mean, no. I've never heard that before. I've never heard Indian and Irish. That's all
Okay,
I've ever heard.
okay,
As far as I know, I don't know of anybody in the island identifying in that fashion. Usually, you will hear Indian, and they might say coolie, or they might just say Indian, depending on the type of Indian.
hmm
And you will mostly hear, oh, I had a European ancestor, maybe Irish, Scottish is also very popular, and in some cases British, but much rarer cases.
hmm
Yeah. So I mean that's the main ethnicities that I know of in Ireland.
yeah,
I mean, of course, you have some segments of society that we must call a spade a spade. Some of them actually are African because a lot of African indentured laborers they come to Jamaica along with the East Indians and the Chinese
and the Chinese.
in the same time period. Yeah,
Mm.
they were from like the Crew tribe, KRU, and the Congos and those people. They're mostly in St. Thomas, St. Mary, those places. But that was like in 1845.
So they're pretty much they're like newly arrived then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course. And I mean, of course, we're not gonna say that some others didn't come during the height of the so-called slave trade and whatever. But I have not found any of that in my lineage.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Right. Which
I'm not saying that some people don't, and if you find that in your lineage, cling to it. Love
yeah.
yourself. African culture is actually quite beautiful.
hmm
They have good knowledge of herbs. They have great knowledge of spirituality. So maximum ratings for the Africans. They have been able to fend off diseases like COVID and all of these things. Whether it's a disease, whether it's a poison, doesn't matter. They've been able to do it. So maximum respect to them.
Now, would you say that they were able to? Would you say that they were able to do it because they're still in contact with their ancestry, with their ancestral
certainly.
ways?
Certainly, and the thing is that a lot of them, their culture wasn't disturbed like ours was.
Exactly.
For better or for worse, they may have made deals. I don't know the full nature of these deals that they may have made, and I won't speak to them because I don't have that knowledge. But whatever they did, a lot of them resisted. For example, the Zulus and stuff like that, they resisted, and they managed to maintain their ancestral lineage, their connection. They kept their storytellers alive, and
Now, let me just say this also to folks. You see, this is why it's important to do your genealogy on your history, your family tree, your bloodline to see what comes up. Okay? Don't let anyone generalize you into one lump sum. We're all Moors. We're all this. No. Because if you want to play that game with the whole Moorish identity, then we could just say that the Moors invaded the Americas and displaced the original peoples of the land and scattered us up and down the seaboard of the Americas. Took our children, okay? Took our fathers out of the homes, took the wives. Because when we also say Europeans, let's go back to the first Europeans, the dark skinned folks, right? Whom root in them call Moors. So who displaced the Indians of the Americas? Was it first the Caucasian, or was it the dark-skinned Moors? Who did it? Who were the first invaders? Who were the first ones? Our ancestors of the Americas was fighting off. Who? You see what I mean? So when you hear about the information, when you hear about the history, you have to do your genealogy on you, on your bloodline. Okay. Now, Alex, would
Yo,
would what would we be considered, Arawaks or Maroons?
what is that?
What would we be considered, Arawaks or Maroons?
Well, the word maroon was just used to describe people's resistance, really and truly. We have knowledge from our elders that, of course, this is not what our people called ourselves originally, and it was more of a designation, means wild and untamed, right? And the reality is that in our ranks, you had Indians, you had even what people would call no mestizos, Spanish mixed with Indians, right? And then you would have also eventually had the Irish and so on joining us, right? But even though we haven't really maintained any oral history about, the depth of those people, but the Moors, we discovered that it's a great possibility that we had a lot of trading with them because, there are certain things that, we might say that would have been used as communication with them, but there is no kind of Muslim culture amongst our people. There's no kind of, Arabic culture amongst our people. Our culture has been maintained at an indigenous level because even though other nations did join us, they joined us. They joined the indigenous and aboriginal population. It doesn't matter what their numbers were. These were people who didn't know the terrain, and who did, right? And they assimilated into our numbers, right? And we became one people because it's a practice that the anthropological scientists call exogamy.
Now,
Exogamous
this
marriages.
this will explain why on the images of the walls of the Maya, even what you folks claim to be Egypt, when you're seeing a dark skinned person, then you're seeing a pale skinned person, then you're seeing a brown skinned person, then you're seeing that was just the admixtures, the mixing going on down the line.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot of people feelings, like I said, is feeling to be hurt. Go ahead, bro.
I hear what I didn't know that this was happening. But now Malkia wants to chime in, so she's suggesting that we just call you back with her phone, because as you know, my phone doesn't do speaker very well.
Well, it's good. It's they can hear you good now. But all right, we could do
I'm
it.
saying that she wants to chime in.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. Go ahead. Call back.
So you won't. All right. Yeah, I will.
All right. Oh, it's about to go in. This is just the reality of it, people. Right? So, like, y'all know me, I stay to the information. It's about the information. It's not about my personal feelings. It's not about none of that stuff. It's just about accurate information. Right? Now, you're going to see when I do the presentation today why other nations wanted to intermix with us. It was for to fix the weaker genetics within them. Okay, we have something that they needed. This is why intermixing all over the planet was going on. All right, hold on. Why isn't it not? Oh wait, yeah. Hello.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. So.
Honor, sis.
Yeah,
Honor.
we're both in.
All right, come on.
Greetings, bro. Greetings, bro. And greetings, everybody.
Yes. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
No, man, I just wanted to add that, you know, whenever you go anywhere and you join a people, the nation doesn't change to suit you. You assimilate. If you ever hear the term, when you go to Rome, you do as the Romans do, it's the same here. I don't understand why people believe that when it comes on to indigenous people, you know, we don't have the same ability to hang on to our culture. You know, why does the society have to change to reflect the new person?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the greatest thing is that now we've come on to some new information, you know, which as soon as we can get down into the sources of that write-up, it was a master's dissertation somebody did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a missing piece of information. Like a lot of this stuff we have oral history for, you know, the Spanish period and stuff for our people, but we have not been able to find the concrete writings
to match what the elders say with actual records and information.
You know, so we've been able to uncover a very powerful article, and I hope that we can do a live and delve into that soon. But I will say this, because something very grievous has come to my knowledge this morning when I woke up, and it's the issue amongst our people of colorism, right? And the issue of racism. Let's be frank.
Even among our own people, I don't understand. You know, the colonizers have managed to create such a division amongst us that not only are we fighting with outsiders, but we're all fighting amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, man.
I'm not gonna call any names, but there's a strong brother who, you know, has been doing a lot, and despite what he may outwardly look like, he has done his best to tell the truth. And I have to say this to all the people who are attacking him. Right? Be very careful.
Colorism is not cool, guys.
Yeah, man.
Colorism is
be
not
very
cool.
careful, because this interrupts our efforts to gain our human rights, to secure our human rights.
And if anybody is telling you anything prejudicial, anything that may be discriminatory to one group of people or any set of people, anything that's discriminatory and prejudice will get you in the way of your rights, because nobody is going to be on board with anything that's not democratic, anything that's not fair, anything that's not just, right? Nobody that's upright and righteous is going to side with injustice and unrighteousness. So we need to put the petty things aside. Let's put colorism aside. You know, let's not act like colonization didn't happen. Let's not act like we don't have invaders and occupiers in our land. Let's not act like that didn't happen. Things happen, and we need to come together and see how we're going to move forward. We don't have time to discuss and to bicker amongst ourselves about colorism and who too dark and who too light. It's 2020 now. Let's get it together.
Yeah, but the thing is now is that we just have to say, you know, put down these petty arguments, these petty discussions, right? And this is not a threat, this is a promise. Our ancestors don't sleep. Our creator don't sleep, right? And we are protected. We are protected people. We don't have to attack anybody. We don't have, just because of what we're doing, the good that we know that we're doing, getting the information to those who need it, we know that we have protection. So just stop.
And this even goes right back to the last live about eugenics. You know, these are just one of the tools that are being used. You know, the colonizer don't have to come and fight us all individually. You know, all him have to do is plant a seed and make a fight with self, and we do the job for them.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm not going to do the colonizer's work and fight my brothers and sisters. I love all of them, and I expect the same love back in return, because we love all.
And then if you don't want to love us, if you don't want to work with us and run with us, you set up your own thing, and the best of luck for you. We have the West Indian Tribal Society. We have a great Arawak Council, you know, which has been coming together. despite differences in time zones, differences in schedules and things.
Yep.
We give the quality information. And for those who can't appreciate it, fine. We don't need your appreciation, but we need it to stay the hell out of our way, because this is a freight train and it's not going to be stopped because it's powered by the ancestors, it's powered by the Almighty. So back up.
This is a warning for all of the people out there that are opposed to progress and good things happening. Do not stand in the way of development.
Come on, stand in your own way. If you want to impede yourself, fine, but don't get in our way. Right? Because we are chopping our way through, we're clearing our path, and nobody's gonna stop us. This is the time of the ancestors. 500 years has elapsed, and they're coming out of their sleep and their slumber now. So we are working. So that's we're just letting the people out there know that for those who love us, we love you. For those who don't love us, we love you. But we're asking you, please and kindly, to stay out of our way.
That's it. It's no one here that's sabotaging your platforms, because we know what you guys are doing. There's no one here flagging your platform. There's no one here reporting your platforms. When a man posts a video of his own stuff and you flag it and it gets taken down, that means you have people working in the YouTube thing. Oh, I just remembered something. Let me ask you, brothers and sisters, something. Alex, now that I seen you in the chat, I'm gonna ask brother Alex on the phone, right? Are you guys familiar with the Warmington last name, the family name? If it's any, if it does it ring any bells on the island? Is it?
Yeah, we have people involved in the political stage in the island with that name.
Okay. Okay. So you hear that, Alex? Because we have a brother named Alex Anthorn, Warmington. Alex, then I suggest that you do your you could do your genealogy on the Warmington name then in the island.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, a lot of those names, right, are coming from the three kingdoms, right? After Cromwell fought our people in the three kingdoms in the British Isles, right? And they got exiled to the islands, especially Barbados, Montserrat, and Jamaica. Right. A lot of those fighters, of course, were males. Most of those fighters were males. They had their family names from the 10s and 1100s, because in those British Isles, so-called British Isles, they didn't start to use last names until the Norman invasion of the 1160s.
Yeah.
And that was so done so as to differentiate them from the Normans. Those French people, those Gallic people. So we carried our last names over, and in a lot of cases, the way they are now have been modified by the British so that they could pronounce them, because they couldn't speak the Gaelic tongue. Right, so a lot of the last names were so-called anglicized. So people might think it has a British connection or English connection, and no, a lot of them are Gaelic. Right.
So when you hear people say, "Oh, you get slave master surname," that's not true. That's not true. If you had an ancestor, and by virtue of the fact that that person is an ancestor, it means that they got with somebody to produce offspring.
Yeah.
Right? If they got married, of course the woman is going to take her husband's last name. Most women do.
It's easy to say that it was rape, It's easy to say that it was rape because it was the so-called racial mixing was illegal at the time.
Yep.
On the books. So it would have been common law marriages. Okay? And it would not have been necessarily church marriages. So if you can't find the records, you're going to say, "Oh, they raped my ancestors." That's intellectual laziness, right? That's intellectual laziness.
You need to look into the social and historical context of what was happening at the time. Whenever you're looking at history is not just black and white. You have to look at, okay, what was happening in the place, what was the culture like there, what was the customs there, what was really happening at the time. You have to evaluate all of that.
I have so-called European ancestry, and I don't care. You know why? Because you see, my so-called European, my Irish ancestors, they were freedom fighters. They fought to preserve their land. Okay, my family, but they were attached to the chief of a particular tribe. Right?
Mhm.
They were basically, you have families, noble families who are like very close to the chief or very close to the king,
Mhm.
and they helped that chief. I remember the name of the era right now. They helped that chief to fight Cromwell, right, and to fight the invasion of the British. And I'm proud of that history. I don't care what their skin color was, and a lot of them were also dark skinned. But it was because of the earlier Norman invasion in the 1100s, just like over here, that the admixture took place. So my light-skinned ancestors have pictures of some of them, and even though they look light-skinned or may have blue eyes or whatever, you see their big nose, you see their curly hair, whatever, same way. It's the same colonization affair. It's been happening for 1,000 years now. Get with the program.
But we need to move away from these ideas of racial purity. Like those are racist ideas.
The eugenics. The same eugenics we spoke about yesterday.
Exactly. So we need to shift away from those racist colonial perspectives. And people are people. All you need to know is your ancestors, your culture, your heritage, and you claim to that. You honor your ancestors by carrying on your culture. You honor your ancestors by studying your history and your genealogy and your ancestry, remembering what they did, what they eat, the pastimes that they did, all of that. You need to know the historical things that happened so you can know why things happening today. A lot of things in history that happened when you look is some ancient bloodline feud or something like that, and people just need to know about these things.
And because of that, we pass judgment on our ancestors, not understanding the circumstances they went through. So let us try to be closer to one another. Let us try to love each other, and let us try to look past what the colonizers' colorism scheme and their caste system. Okay.
Because it's the same caste system that they use to try to prevent us, the indigenous people of the land, from living a good life. They create a structure, a system, and then engineer it so that you can't get higher than that. We need to break free of that, everybody.
Now,
we need to break free of them things, because it's these things that hold with us.
Now, peep this, right? Peep this. So, when we speak of the Moors of the East, right, and they say that they went through and they were conquering, and they had the pale face as their slaves, and they had the pale face woman as their concubine. How many children do you think came from that? This is thousands and thousands and thousands of years of mixing. Okay, now pay attention, because what the caste system that's being casted upon us here was the caste system that they casted upon the ones that they colonized over there, and these ones just came into power and they just flipped the script, right? So they set it up as a complexion thing, because back then it was the paler you are when it comes to those Moors, it was, oh, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. Now it's the darker you are, you're at the bottom of the totem pole here in the Americas. So if the Moors are going to take credit for inventing all these things, take credit for that too. You created a caste system. Take credit for it. The thing is,
and
yeah, go ahead, sis.
It's these same racist ideals. I hear people say all the time that only white people can be racist. That is not true. Anybody can be racist. As long as you have any kind of perspective that there is one race that is superior to another, you are a racist. So we need to take those ideas of racist, that only one set of people can be racist, and put it in the garbage bin where it belongs, because that in itself is a racist perspective.
Yeah, they're cuddling people. You see, this is the thing, brother. Let's be real now. You see this so-called Moorish empire that you hear them babbling on about.
Mm-hmm.
That was an empire-based slavery.
Yeah, it
Right?
was.
They were going along the coast of all of these European countries. And when the people were fishing and hunting and things, they used to roll up and kidnap them. Right? That's the shit that the Moors used to do. Right? The Barbary Coast pirates and all of those people. What do you think that their profession was? They were stealing. They were brigands. They were stealing people's children and raising them in these harems and things like that. This was their activity.
But even in today's day, you still have people kidnapping albinos, right, in that part of the world. Racism is everywhere.
And
Racism can be perpetrated by anyone, upon anyone.
And they're kidnapping the albinos to chop off their right arm to grind it up into powder because they believe that it has magic in it. This is why they're kidnapping the albinos over there, to grind them up into powder because they believe that they have magic in them. Okay?
We need,
Go ahead, sis.
we need to call a spade, right? Not because people might look like us. You have good people everywhere and bad people everywhere. It don't matter where you come from. It no matter your class, color, shape, or creed. There are good and bad people everywhere, and it's racist to think anything different.
That's true. That's a fact. Now, this is why I tell people, man, look, honor your ancestors. My thing is the reason why I'm against the whole caste system thing. The reason why I'm against these folks who are coming out trying to impersonate the people of this land is because what they're doing is, we know that the world was once dark of hue, melanated people. That we know this, right? But somewhere along the line, there's other ethnic groups that came about. Mixing happened. And mixing will always be something that will always happen. People have their preferences. People prefer, like my preference, like I said, is chocolate complexion females. You know, cocoa brown, you know, dark chocolate, you know, that's my preference. You know, the shades of the many different shades of the melanin. But anyway, and then you have people that has other preferences. You see what I'm saying? So it's what you want to stick to, what you want to stick with. Me, I like dark skinned females, brown skin and dark skinned females. That's my preference. That's if I'm going to procreate, it will be with that. You know, other folks like lighter skinned females and so on and so. This is just how the world. And now people say, "Dark man, you sound different," because it's maturity. It's just going through history and literally seeing what was going on. And you can't deny history of what has happened in history, but we can honor the ancestors to their core. That's I go back and I start from the oldest of the old ancestors on all sides of my family lineages, right? So you know, this is the thing that we can do. You know, if you have your preference, you want to see the darker view generation rise again. Well, it is because this is why Bill Gates and them is bringing through the whole eugenics thing here on this massive level, the Corona thing, right? Because they've already have charts that they predicted that the population will boom so much by 2050. First of all, it's going to be a massive boom by 2021. Then going up into 2050 of the brown and the darker view population skyrocketing, right? Because what's happening is when you mix, sometimes you mix so much that that darker view tone starts mixing back in and coming back. This has always been the cycle of life throughout history, people. Always has been that, right? So we can't deny history. I can't deny what I see in front of my eyes, and I can't deny what I've been researching and seeing, and come to y'all and say, no, f that, nope, nope. The ancestors always stayed segregated, and so on. I can't tell you how that. It wouldn't be true because when I started learning more, I started giving more of what I started learning, and these were some of the things that I also started learning. Yes, some of it happened through rape, being prisoners of war, but some of it did not. Right, and that's just what it is. Yes, eugenics is about um, harvesting certain genetics from certain ethnic people to balance out the weaknesses of another ethnic groups' genetics. That is eugenics. And when I bring forth the documentations later on today, you're going to see it, right? But sometimes people love who they love, and that's just what it is. And that's the universal language that people say love is the universal language. But understand what nationality is. If even a pale face marries into a darker view clan, then that pale faced child takes on the identity of the clan. That's how it's supposed to be, that he married into. If you left from Europe and you came to the Americas and married to someone of the Americas, then, like our sister says, you take on the ways of the Americas. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? This is so that we don't lose our tribal identity here in the Americas. And if you went from here and went over there, so it's going to be that way over there too, so that they don't lose their tribal identity. This is the reality of the world that we live in. So when you hear these people coming on out spewing this ignorant stuff, like, we have no time for that. No time for it. You know. So this is what it is. Brother Alex, I know you said that you wasn't going to call any names, but I already did way earlier. You know, this is just to let you know. Way earlier, I already did. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Yeah, man. Well, you know,
Yeah.
if you already call his name, you know, big up to brother Cormier every time, you know, and keep strong despite what anybody else is saying or doing. One of the first things that drew us to Cormier's channel was the mere fact that even though he looked a certain way, he wasn't ashamed to say and put forth what the original people look like.
Exactly.
Because, let's face it, a lot of us don't look like our ancestors anymore.
That's
but
true.
do they love us any less? And are we not their descendants? No, definitely not. Right? And I'm here to tell all races, if you want to have that perspective, that's fine. People can believe whatever they want to believe. But keep it far from us.
Racist and discriminatory beliefs will get you nowhere.
Right. At the end of the day, we're all about the law. We're all about rights. We're all about our franchise, our inheritance as descendants of the original peoples of these places that are now called the Americas. And that's all we care about. We don't want anything that belongs to anyone else.
When I need the people out there to know that when you see me come on YouTube videos to share information, that's just because we see it as an obligation to share the information to the people out there, right? We are not being discriminatory, right? We know that all indigenous people of the Americas, they have a right to know. They have a right to certain information as well. And so we share the information because we know that we're obligated to do so. But when you see us not on YouTube, it's straight work, right? It's straight work. We're working on rights, working on law, working on producing food, working on developmental progress for our people. We don't have time for the backbiting. We don't have time for the drama. All of you guys who have time for the drama, I'm surprised that you guys have all this time, right? And if you guys have this time, you must be being paid to do this.
Right. We don't have the kind of time to go and talk about other people's time. But let's emphasize something for the family out there. See, in the past, this is not the only tactic. This is not the only tactic. In the past, we've tried to do all kinds of projects. The first project that and we tried to do, people, to be honest with you, people came in on his end and derailed that. They brought negativity. They tried to say that, we should have this or, whatever it is. People want power for themselves. People want glory for themselves. We tried something else and said we had a location that we're saying that we tried to do an amateur archaeological dig at. We got called scammers. right? Because we weren't asking for $1 million. And people said that, oh, this amount of money is too little, so they must be using this just to put in their pockets.
Now, mind you, right, we do all of this work out of the goodness of our heart. We don't ask for payment, right? So we don't need no large sum of money because we're doing the work ourselves, right? And those who come together with us who are willing to do the work as well, people who are willing to invest their time and the strength of their bodies.
All right, we have another project with the brother here, and we're hoping that people look and see that we're sincere. Because as you asked a question yesterday, and that was a very pertinent question, and as Brother Cormier said in that live yesterday, it's a very deep question, and why should we preserve culture? And I had touched on it yesterday, and I think it's important and vital to touch on it again, and that is culture is our saving grace. Culture points to who we are as a people. When you have culture and you have cultural continuity, and you can show that there is an unbroken chain of knowledge, that points to who you are. And because of the displacement, the erosion of our culture by colonization, we said, hey, how can we help people to get back to culture? We have to go to where the culture is. We have to sit with the elders. We have to record them if they will permit us to. We have to write down all that they have said, because now the knowledge keepers are being persecuted, being killed. We have to go get what we can and bring it back to those who have lost it. And that is the effort that the West Indian Tribal Society is trying to do right now. And that is what we're raising funds for. So if there's anybody out there who is saying, oh, what are they trying to get this money for? No. Just look into it. Just read into what we're doing and look deep and realize that this time we've done our legwork. We've gone out there and brought those who want to work with us to the fore, despite them being private people, and they've agreed to write their 2 cents and to show that they're affiliated with what we're doing, because they realize that every single time we try to do something positive for this community, we get thwarted. And I give much praise to the Almighty, much thanks and reverence to the ancestors, and much thanks to those who have already contributed. Much respect, and we are going to do our best to do what we said. And if you guys think that culture is important, invest. It doesn't matter how small. Invest and play your part in helping us to do our work as we are trying to serve you guys better.
And I want to give thanks to each and every individual who has donated so far. We really appreciate it. Even the ones that donated anonymously, we see you guys too, right? We appreciate you guys as well. We appreciate the effort and the faith that you have in us, and we appreciate the support that everybody has in our work, even for those who have not been able to contribute based on their own individual situation, right? But who have just given a kind word or a supportive word, we appreciate those as well, because there are times when sometimes, what you really need is a kind word of encouragement. So we appreciate those as well. So those who can't give in cash, we appreciate your kind words as well.
Continue to send the good vibes, and continue to care, continue to listen, continue to watch, continue to observe.
Okay. Yeah, y'all. So, again, we do thank you guys for the support that you have been showing to the GoFundMe for the West Indian Tribal Society. We thank you guys for even the moral support and even supporting the platform, sharing the information on the platform. Thank you guys for even supporting those platforms out there who are righteous and whom have also offered information that helped you guys, right? Um, Platforms who are not hiding anything from you, right? We thank y'all. Even those platforms too, we thank y'all. Uh, like I said, man, Kermit is a stand-up dude. Like he's an honorable man, and I can't hate on the man. You know, I was watching his platform for a long time, and I was just waiting for the day for him to wake up to certain ones who were parasites around him. Pretty much, that's what I call it, right? And now that you know they use him to get their platforms where their platforms needed to be. They was trying to do that with me with my main platform. That's why majority of the times I ignored them. When you have someone or some people that's forcibly trying to force their way into your life, there's something wrong with that. Okay, it's always trying to let's go. There's some that's a red flag, major red flag for me. I hate that shit. Don't like that. If you think you're going to get the reaction that you're going to get totally ignored from me, right? But yeah, you can't deny stand-up people when you see stand-up people, and sometimes we compliment some of the ones that we that I came out speaking on because at first it seems like they were but they showed their selves, they showed their hand, and it is what it is. I'm not telling nobody to unsubscribe or anything like that from their platforms. That's not my place to do that. I just tell people be wary of information that you're being fed and do your own research. At the end of the day, look into your own genealogy. Don't let anyone lock you into a lump sum of this and that. Look into your own genealogy. That's how you're going to dispel the lies. All right? Because right now, this is a spell casting system that we are in. It has always been that. And the spells are to be casted upon those who have lost their way, have lost the knowledge, the ways of their ancestors. Okay? um that who is not savvy in the history. All right, that's it. So people just stay vigilant, man. Like, don't go on a path of pushing straight hateful nonsense out of the blue just like that. Like, we always have strength for each other, but we don't have strength when it comes to the real forces who's holding us down. Hmm? That's crazy. That is crazy. If they say that they have we're the Moors and the Moors have got the information, well, goddamn, if you're now going to start bringing it forward, what took you so long if you were sitting on it for years? What took you so long? Hmm? Because it was a secret. And when do you keep secrets? Hmm? To push agendas. And why would you want to keep a secret? You're not keeping a secret from everybody, because the ones whom you are part of these societies with, those Caucasians, they know that secret too. So obviously, the ones who don't know the secret are the masses. So you're keeping it from the masses to keep the masses enslaved mentally and physically. So again, when they say the Moors of the Middle East were Arab slave traders, this is no different from slavery through these documentations and paperwork of today. There's no difference. That's the only way you will withhold information. I'm not saying to share everything, but the things that could have cleared up a lot of things for people, so that the people wouldn't be in the situation that they are in today. Y'all sat down on it for years and held on to it. Why? Why did y'all do that? Because you had something to gain from that. Hmm? You're contracted with the corporation. You're a part of that private society that profits off of trading these stocks and bonds on the stock market. These slave papers. That's what they're really called. That's what it is. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. Like I said, we got the live to do later on. So just stay vigilant, y'all. Look out for the live, the eugenics live coming later on today as well. And just stay tuned. Brother Alex and Sister Malkia, thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah, man, and thanks for having us as usual. You know.
No problem, brother. Yeah, man.
Thanks for everybody for listening. If you're still here, thank you for listening.
Yeah, man. No problem at all. So, I'll just say peace, love, and light to you all, and just stay tuned. All the links to the other platforms, the links to the GoFundMe and everything else, the coronavirus file, the coronavirus acts, they're in the description box. I think I put it in there. Yeah, they should be in the description box right now. I'm going to put them at the top of the comment section when this is uploaded, and pin it at the top of the comment section. So everything that you guys need will be there. Join also the Discord group. Don't forget to join the Discord also as well. The link to that is also there as well. And just stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned. All right. Peace, love, light, honest to you all. Yeah, man.